Hello children, today I am going to teach you history part in social science for grade 10. I selected second lesson history, the extension of British rule. The extension of the British rule in India. In previous class I explained the advent of the Europeans to India, how British, French, Portuguese, Dutch arrived in India and they started trading centers, and how they competition should be started for each other, and they also taken many war with each other. So the first lesson you already learned, first, second and third Carnatic War, and two important war, that Plassey and Buxar War. For this lesson, we are discussed about the most important concept. First of all, the first Anglo-Maratha War, and second one is the subsidiary alliance. This policy implemented by Lord Wellesley. It is a cunning policy. The main intention of this policy to capturing of all the territory of India. And third point, it is a doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse, it is introduced by the Lord Dalhousie introduced the doctrine of lapse. And also for this lesson, we learn about the Anglo-Sikh War. These are the main concepts we learn about the second lesson, the extension of British rule. First, I want to discuss about how the British extend their territory in India. First of all, you already learned the Plassey and Buxar War. The Plassey War fought in 1757 between Siraj-ud-Dawla and British. And Buxar War, it fought between the British and Mir Qasim. It is a combined force in 1764. That result of the two wars, it is also effect of the expansion of the British rule. British got complete political control over the Bengal after the Battle of Plassey and Buxar. And in almost the British, they concentrate only in the eastern and northern part of India. In southern west part of India, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan and Mysore became a dominant ruler of this period. So, they directly competed with British for this Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan, and also for the Marathas. They also competed, and they also taken many war with each other. And two important weapons are used by the British. That is the two weapons used by the British to capturing of the Indian territory. That is the two weapons or policy of the British. That is the first of all, subsidiary alliance. It is implemented by the Wellesley, and one more, it is a doctrine of lapse implemented by the Dalhousie. These are the two cunning policy they adopted in to extension of their rule. That is the introduction. Next, today I want to explain the first concept, that is first Anglo-Maratha War. The British and the Indian rulers are taken, especially many war, and first of all the three important war taken between the British and Marathas, that is the first Anglo-Maratha I will explain. The first Anglo-Maratha War started in 1775 to 1782. The main reason of this first Anglo-Maratha War, the Shah Alam II. You already know this one, the Battle of Buxar in 1764. The end of the Battle of Buxar, the Shah Alam was defeated. He was under the control of British. So, when Shah Alam, he back on the throne of the Delhi. He was a Mughal emperor. He also continued the king of that Mughal. When the Shah Alam II, he was under the care of the British. He totally controlled by the British. But after the Battle of Buxar, the Shah Alam gave two important regions to Marathas. The two regions, that is Kora and Allahabad. These two places are given to Marathas, but earlier it is given to British. So without permission of the British, the two regions are given to Marathas. That is the main reason the enemy relationship started by Marathas and British. So that is the main reason. When Kora and Allahabad is given to Marathas, Marathas also one more reason. The internal affairs means when Madhavrao became the Peshwa of the Marathas, he was, that is the major setback of the Marathas, the political setback, because Madhavrao he was became a Peshwa and immediately he was died. After the death of Madhavrao, Narayan came to the power. He became the Peshwa of the Marathas. But Narayan he was murdered. His uncle Raghunatha, he also called Raghuba. When Narayan was killed by the Raghuba, that once again that condition should be a very weak in the Marathas. Why Raghunath Rao killed the Narayan Rao? Because Raghunath Rao or Raghuba, he wanted to become the Peshwa of the Marathas. But Narayan Rao became the Peshwa, so he murdered Narayan Rao. But later, the other leader of the Marathas, after the death of Narayan Rao, Madhavrao second became the Peshwa of the Maratha. So that is the main reason the Raghunath Rao invite the British, the internal affairs of the Marathas. Raghunath Rao, he approached the British to against of their own kingdom. That is the main reason of the second Anglo-Maratha war started in India. That main reason, first of all, the enemy relations started by that Kora and Allahabad. It is given by Shah Alam II. Next, Madhavrao was died and Narayan Rao was came to the power. But Raghunath Rao was uncle of Narayan Rao. He killed the Narayan Rao. That is the another reason, and that is the main reason. The Raghunath Rao, he wanted to become the Peshwa of the Maratha, but Madhavrao second became the Peshwa of the Maratha. So the first Anglo-Maratha war, the Raghunath Rao approached the British and started for the Anglo-Maratha war. And another side, British also waiting for this condition, that political setback of the Marathas. So in 1775, the first Anglo-Maratha war started, and the Marathas lost Allahabad. First of all, that Marathas, they got success in this first battle of Marathas, first Anglo-Maratha war. First Marathas only get success, but later the Allahabad lost by the Marathas, and Salwai Agreement, it ended the first Anglo-Maratha war. So Salwai Agreement ended the first Anglo-Maratha war. Madhavrao second became the Peshwa of the Marathas. First Anglo-Maratha war ended the Salwai Agreement. That is the first concept. Second concept, before I told, Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley was the Governor General of British. He came in India in 1798. His period up to 1798 to 1805. He implemented a great policy, that is a subsidiary alliance. It is a cunning policy of the British to capture the Indian territory. This policy brought into effect by the Wellesley in 1798. It was ordered to bring control overall India under the control of British. What is the meaning of this subsidiary alliance? Subsidiary alliance, it is an agreement between the British and Indians. It is a military production agreement between the British and Indian state. That is the subsidiary alliance. According to this alliance, some condition is there. The condition of subsidiary alliance. First point, the Indian king had to keep British army in his court. The British army is kept in Indian court. That is the first conditions of the subsidiary alliance. The second condition, the concerned state had to expensive of army wages of soldiers and collect the revenue out of the state. It means the soldiers are getting salary by the Indian rulers, and also they have some right to collecting of the land taxes. It is also given to the British for this subsidiary alliance. And third point, the king has to be a British resident. And fourth point, the king could not appoint any other Europeans in his court. That is also the most important, because the British stopped to connecting of the Indian rulers and others. So according to subsidiary alliance, the king could not appoint any other Europeans in his court. That is also the most important conditions of the subsidiary alliance. And then the permission of the Governor General is mandatory for entering any agreement. It means without the permission of Lord Wellesley or any Governor General, they were not taken any agreement with the other rulers or other Europeans. So the agreement also not taken without permission. It mandatory. It is the Governor General permission is mandatory for the entry of any agreement. That is also one of the conditions of the subsidiary alliance. And next point, the company would offer the protection to the states. According to this subsidiary alliance, the company also give one offer. What is that offer? Which king, the accepting subsidiary alliance, that country or that king also protected by the British army. It means that British army that kept in that fort, that army should be held to the king. That is the one more conditions of the subsidiary alliance. And then the subsidiary alliance, it is accepted by first state in India, that is Hyderabad. The Hyderabad state was the first to enter in agreement. Later, this subsidiary alliance also accepted by Mysore and Tanjavur, Pune and Gwalior. Almost all the Indian territory is captured by the British according to this subsidiary alliance. So this subsidiary alliance, totally almost the Indian territory is captured by the British.